Hello, the House of Tarot YouTube followers. Welcome to today's reading. Today we're doing a blind reading to welcome the next month of September. Today's reading is for anyone this finds. I hope this reading finds you well. We're going to start with a first message, and we have simplify. Stop overthinking, get out of your head and into your heart. For September, I'm feeling the essence of just making things very simple for yourself, finding the easiest way. Also, the warning of not overcomplicating, of course, but finding the joy in the simple life, into the simple things. Such as today, the new drinks for the pumpkin spice came out at Starbucks, and it's just like a big old deal for some people. So making things really fun, making things a lot more than they are. We are going into the September, October, November months, so all the Burr months, where there's a lot of things to romanticize. There's a lot of things to kind of see the simple part of life. So being mindful, having meditations where you get to be mindful, where you get to spend time thinking about these things, or having moments to yourself where you get to kind of insert yourself in the world around you, and being able to think and digest and enjoy what's happening all around you. So kind of simplifying. We also have reflects. Again, I keep feeling this vibration of reflection, mindfulness, meditation, kind of just sitting with yourself and making things very fun. Like even the trip to the store to buy that one thing, just making a whole thing out of it, getting ready for it, putting yourself together for it, being there, really reflecting on which piece of the item you want. It could be as simple as a new creamer for your coffee or a new tea for the morning, just things like that. So really kind of reflecting, keeping things simple for yourself, keeping things very lovely for yourself as well. We're going to use this deck that's kind of a Halloween deck, September deck, just kind of a little academia deck, just kind of simple, fun, autumnish. We're going to go ahead and go with the first card, and we have a fox. I'm seeing some sort of moment where you're going to be kind of like a head turner. So if someone was kind of thinking of a glow up or going through a glow up, I feel like the moment is definitely coming. This is kind of like a swift, I see kind of like this fox showing up somewhere, and just people can't keep their eyes off of them. I also see this with your vibrations, so possibly the simplifying your life and being reflective, being mindful, just being very intentional about your days, being very intentional about your life at the moment. I feel like you're going into a season where you behave more intentionally, you think more intentionally. This is also possibly a physical glow up for some of you, and kind of putting effort into yourself, especially during the season of September, and the colors you get to play with, and the snacks you get to have around you, what's coming into the stores, all the different flavors of cinnamons and pumpkin spice, and also the autumn showing up and the veil becoming thinner. It's also going to bring in a lot of downloads and messages meant for you. So really learn to spend the time reflecting, learn to spend the time by yourself, thinking, reflecting, planning, and also doing, kind of going forward and doing those things that come to you during this reflective time. We're going to go ahead and do my version of the Celtic cross, which we're going to take a card for your recent past. Okay, we have the Knight of Cups. So a very emotional time. You're possibly coming out of something very emotional. We did have a black moon. We also had 8/8 show up recently during this month. So this is part of the months prior, just something that left you very emotional, very reflective, and also kind of created this new change up where you want to be someone different, also someone that receives things differently. So kind of having a moment to sit with a piece of information, having a moment to sit with an idea. I feel like you're receiving things a lot differently. So even people's, let's say their judgment of you or a comment about you, I feel like you're very reflective this time around of how you receive them, and learning that it possibly just means more about them. It just means their perspective, and it has nothing to do with yourself. So I see a moment that was highly emotional, highly charged, and also a moment where you learned a lot about yourself. We're going to go ahead and go with your subconscious. So we have the Six of Pentacles, and it's about kind of being more giving. Some of you are looking forward to being a more giving person, also financially giving, spreading wealth, and even this could be spreading knowledge or helping people get to where they are. So if some of you have this position in your day-to-day with being some kind of advisor is also what I'm seeing, but also something that you're possibly looking into is advising, empowering people, helping people, so kind of relaying messages to people that you felt needed that piece of information or that video or that quote or anything like that. I see that you're wanting to be in a very giving manner, and this is a card of physical, but I feel that it also comes with social media or memes, just things like that. I feel like you want to help people through perspective, through ways of thinking that land on your lap that you feel like you want to share with others. And I feel like go for it. I feel like the people are starting to listen more. People are starting to possibly even listen to you more. So if this was not your profession, but you kind of have this side mentality for this, or this knack for something extra, I feel like people are willing to listen. So something that you possibly have within yourself. Okay. We also have the 9 of Wands in your near future. So it's kind of being reflecting in how far you've come. So summer in September, I feel like you're going to have gratitude and even celebration for yourself of something that you possibly overcame, something that you thought was going to break you down, but in the end it did not. So it probably has to do with this time that was very emotional for you, and now you get to reflect on something coming out of the other side and being reflective of everything you've put together. Possibly hard work, possibly a plan, just all kinds of ideas that you put into place in some manner. So I'm also seeing kind of like a clothesline and just things that came at you, and you kind of just dominated one by one, and you took one and then the next one came. So it's kind of like something of a factory of a clothesline that happened to you, and every time you kind of affronted the item or the pain, the thing, the suffering possibly, and you affronted it, you dealt with it, and now you're kind of reflecting on how far you've come. So something in September tells me you're going to start the end of the year, or this portion of the quarter, this portion of the year, reflecting on how far you've come and celebrating that. I feel like the pity party is over, or the woe is me is over. Also, the vibration of complaining is over. Not in a negative way, calling you complainer or anything like that, but I feel like just that time is over. You get to kind of seal it up and light the fire, and you get to be done with it. And it's actually very liberating. It kind of gets you to this other part of your life where you're having this kind of intense glow up at some point, where people are going to start noticing, and also just where people are going to start listening. By share the wealth in this, I also don't see as money having to be distributed, but I see as your new mindset, the ideas you have, the advising you have, the help that you have for others, that you're just kind of pouring out of you. I feel like it's pouring out of your pores for some of you. We're going to take a card for the you placement. We have the Page of Swords. So this is a very playful with your mentality. Some of you in your spirits are going to start behaving very playfully. And I feel like you're just going to have this weight off of you, where you get to engage in your playful side. You get to have fun with your playful side. And it has to do with your mentality, possibly kind of making a joke out of things where it's not in a negative way, but it lightens things up, where you get to kind of go through life differently, or you get to help those around you to see life differently, so they could just do the thing. So some of you are really kind of putting a lot of weight, or some people around you are putting a lot of weight on something that's supposed to be happy, but you're there kind of to lighten the mood. And it's not to kind of dismiss their feelings, but it's also to kind of help them see the other perspective of the glass is actually pretty full. The glass, things are actually very blessed in the world around you at times, or most of the time for the most part. So we're going to go ahead and go with the environment, and I see collaboration and also some emotional times with somebody, possibly a best friend. Possibly somebody wants to also come back into your environment, into your life, because they see this easygoing person. They see the success with this kind of persona. It's up to you if you want to let them back in. This could be a lover, this could be a friendship, this could be a family member, but I see that somebody wants to be back, somebody wants to collaborate with you, somebody that caused some kind of emotional rift around you. But this could also be just something that they were dealing with. I feel like they were possibly very emotional themselves, and they just don't know what to do with that emotion. So I feel like it's displaced emotion that somehow landed with you or came to you in some way. And I feel like they're going to want back in. It's up to you how you want to handle that, but that's coming into your environment, where you get to kind of have that decision to make and either move on from it, reflect how good your life has been without them possibly, or reflect how, if that space has been missing them. So it's kind of a reflective time. Again, reflecting, so simplifying your life. Possibly for some of you, your life is a lot more simple without them in your life. So it's a lot of things to think about. We're going to go ahead and take a card for your hopes and fears, and last for an outcome. And for your hopes and fears, I feel like you fear not getting the proper recognition for some of you for the things you do in life, or even this glow up. So kind of learn to do it for yourself. Learn to not want the compliments, as the fox kind of sit there very daintily and kind of expecting, like, notice me, see me, compliment me. I feel like kind of go through the world not needing the recognition, and at some point you would collect a tribe that wants to give you the recognition, wants to follow you, or like-mindedness, just the like-minded people that get to surround you and your environment as well. So being careful with wanting the recognition, wanting the aside from recognition, the compliments as well. Being careful with that mentality and kind of just moving on from it, leaving it there if you don't get it. Being careful with sulking with it. Just kind of enjoy things for yourself that you do for yourself in general. You celebrating yourself. Oh, for the outcome, we have the world. So the world gets to go full circle. So some kind of moment where you kind of get to reflect that it's really come full circle. And this is the most important card, the card of the deck to me anyway, as well as the reading for today, because it's a major card, our major arcana, and it comes as our outcome card. So possibly the feeling that you're going to have is feeling like you're on top of the world, feeling you have everything it takes with the world in place, and the starting over as this new person. So the world is also sometimes an ending because you kind of accomplished everything, and it's possibly even accomplishing this kind of emotional time. I don't see it as a super hard time, but it's just a lot of emotions that you possibly had to go through, and kind of starting over as this new person that was rebirthed from going through all this. We're going to take one more of this from this deck just to clarify everything, just any final message that the cards want to tell us, just any clarity that we need. And we have a book. This is a beautiful card. Possibly some of you may have ran into several books this year that you picked up and you possibly just read a couple pages, but it really helped you out. And if that's not the case, I feel like it's coming for September. So kind of keep your eye open for a good book. Keep your eye open for something that's going to really fill you. I'm not saying you have to finish the book. I'm not saying you have to start it from front to back of any way, but whatever you can take from some sort of book, I feel like it's going to come from a book or some kind of reading in general, but whatever you took from it. So some people get the message right away in the first chapter for some reason, or halfway through. A lot of people don't like to finish books because they got the message already, but in some way, some message is coming for you. And again, I don't feel like you have to even finish this book. Just being open to picking it up and starting it, or just reflecting on a couple pages a day, things like that. So with that, my dear listener, this concludes our reading. Come visit me at the House of Tarot. Again, with every reading, please just take what resonates, leave the rest. I do offer these readings at the House of Tarot.etsy.com. They go a lot longer and you get my voice with the reading. So with that, I leave you guys. Bye-bye.